Hello everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Precious and with me is
Fiona.
All right, so as we are winding up and coming to the end of the year, we have a couple of things that we want to lay off our chest. It's one thing, usually when the year starts, we have New Year resolutions. I'm sure maybe some of us have even written down what we want to do for next year, what we want to achieve, our plans, our expectations and all of that. And then sometimes you find out that as the year continues, what you plan to do, you did not do. The things you wrote down, you probably were not able to achieve it. For me, I stopped doing New Year resolution a long time ago because I realized that you might write down things you want to do and don't end up doing it. But if you set your plans, let's say in three months, this is what I want to do in the next 3 months, or you have a goal that you're looking forward to. It's easier than that you have so many things on your list that you want to fulfill before the year runs out. So there's been a lot of experiences this year, and it comes in different shapes, in different forms. It comes in the people that we meet. Probably you've met new people this year, or probably you haven't. Maybe what you even plan to do, you have done it. I celebrate you if you were that person. But if you have not been able to do it as well, I'll celebrate you. The 2025 gives you an opportunity to do something else. So now I want to, capture our thought a bit on what it looks like, how the year has looked like so far. Was it a year where what we started with in mind was achieved? Or was it a year that while we were at the course of the year, a different direction came, a different paradigm came, and then we totally went out of track? So Fiona, I don't know if you have something that happened in the course of the year that made you feel like, this is not what I had in mind, but it's still part of everything, and you can still see where God is taking it, or you just have something this year that you want to share that you felt like you experienced.
Yeah, for me personally, always writing out goals and resolutions for the new year. I found out that over time it don't work for me because we write out a lot of unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we don't have a timeline for it. So when I got into 2024, I told myself I'm just going to pursue just one thing, and I started focusing on, and that was upgrade in my fashion field. And I was set on ensuring that this is what I need to do and accomplish this year. And I really did that because I had one thing in mind, not multiple things. So in the course of upgrading my fashion course, I met a lot of people. Then I found out that yes, I was upgrading. In the course of upgrading, I was also training other people. It further made me know what I'm doing more.
Okay.
So I was very, very occupied this year. Do you understand? Because I was not only upgrading myself, but also teaching people what I know. So that also gave me, added advantage in making my skills better than before.
Okay.
Because I was also impacting this knowledge on other people. So it was not all about me just upgrading. It was also transferring this knowledge in the little way that I know to people. So I streamlined. I was like, this is what I want to do in 2024. So I was focused. I gave all energy to it. Yes, it was money, capital intensive. So I was focused on it. I didn't allow anything distract me.
Sure.
So as we wrapped up the year, I can actually say that I'm satisfied that this is the first time I focused on one thing and I did it. I achieved it.
Speaking of money, do you think that because you said you put your money into it and so it made your focus very streamlined, do you think that when you put money into learning something, you focus more than when you are taught freely?
Of course, because you know that you paid for it. Like, look at what Christ did for us. The price he paid for us, So if you pay, that's an investment. So when you put a price to something, do you understand? That's value. You tend to give your time, whatever it takes, because you know that there's a price on this thing and you need to benefit from what you paid for. But when it comes freely, you always give excuses. But when you pay for it, you know that maybe it was 3 months, 4 months, so there's not going to be a refund.
Yeah.
So you do everything within your time frame to ensure that
money doesn't waste.
That money doesn't waste.
True.
So sometimes it's actually, David said something, I'm not going to do something that will not cost me something. So sometimes you really need to, it must not come like very big amount of money, but that little money you pay for training, developing itself is very good. Do you understand? So you must actually pay for something. Because look at the train of times when we actually get things free. Are we really committed to that thing?
Are we committed to that thing?
Let's search ourselves. Like for me personally, I think when I have things done for me freely, I don't know, there's this challenge, you understand? But when I pay for it, I know that you paid for this thing. So I need to create time to get the value for what I paid for.
Nice one. This year, one thing that was very common was that there were lots and lots of online classes. Register for this one. Maybe you're just thinking of digital marketing. You go on YouTube today, you see free digital marketing class. You see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook, you see it everywhere. Now, it's one of those things that like it's just to catch people's attention to do it. When you see that it's free, you now want to start. Then when you start, they'll not tell you for you to upgrade to this level, pay so and so amount. I think that it is a good marketing strategy, but I also believe that it is okay for you to say from day one that this is so and so amount you'll be paying for this course. Instead of just getting people who are not interested and then you see maybe 1,000 people coming into register for maybe the course on WhatsApp and on Telegram, but they're not serious.
Yeah.
Then when you now say okay, pay, you now say maybe it's like 15 people or 20 people that pay. I think it's okay for you to say from the day one, like this is you're going to pay so and so money. Let the 5 people who are willing to learn and know the value of that course start it with you, so that you know exactly who you're pouring into. Except, of course, maybe you just want to build your social media following. You know, sometimes they tell you to not follow them on social media.
Of course,
you know, except that's the reason. You know, it's okay. Be comfortable with the fact that people pay for what you know and what you are teaching. You know, so that's very profound. Now, do you think that just focusing on that one thing shut down every other thing in your life, or do you think that one thing now led to so many things? Because for me, I had so many things I was pushing at the same time. I learned like 3 different things halfway, but still, even though it was learned halfway, it still yielded some results for me. And it made me feel like I'm on a journey of many things that I need to complete. You know, so now do you think that you just focusing on one thing with all your heart and leaving other things that you know you might have wanted to do at first prevented you from maximizing every other opportunity, or do you think that one thing landed you where you wanted to be?
For me personally, I feel what I focused on actually landing where I wanted to be, because if you're going to do multitasking, let all your multitasking be aligned with the same thing you're doing. You cannot do fashion and want to go and do data analysis.
So what if you need data analysis at some point?
What is data analysis?
Exactly. It's understanding of numbers. You know. Exactly. So you need to even know what you are learning in addition to another thing.
Exactly.
If it will flow or if it will be.
For me, data analysis is not going to help in my fashion industry, my fashion career.
Yes.
But if you're telling me video editing, of course, I should want to know.
Or graphics design.
Yes. You know, because I actually did fashion illustration. So you can actually take that to, you know, there's another way of upgrading the illustration now. Instead of using pencil, we use the system, that's how they call it. So data analysis has nothing to do with fashion for me. So I don't think I'll go to learn fashion.
Really based on what you know about it at this point.
Yes, at this point. So data analysis, no, it's taking me out of what I'm doing. Completely out. Is way out. But if you're telling me, okay, I think you need to do video editing, of course, social media marketing, you know, you know how to go around all those things. But data analysis, I don't think so.
So it's good to know what your major focus.
Yeah, it's good to know your audience.
And then you can now know other things that can give you an edge in your major focus.
Yeah.
So let's say you're into hairdressing. Video editing is a good one for you. Graphic design can also help you, probably to be able to push the right images out there, right? Until you can now maybe outsource it. You can get somebody that can do it for you. But now we have people who do like 10 things. They are very good at fashion design. They are also entering into cooking vlogs. They are also doing dance videos. Now I know this might not necessarily capture what has the year been, but it's just to give people direction, because sometimes we start a year with a focus and then we get so distracted because we want to do what is trendy, what to give us money, what to give us an edge, and so we end up doing so many things. If a person is in that situation where they are doing so many things that are not even interrelated, what would you say to that kind of person, and how do you think that can affect the major focus of that person, the major goal?
Well, the first thing I'll tell the person is, what do you really find interest doing effortlessly?
Yeah.
In as much as you have 10 things you want to do, there's one thing that I know that if they wake you up, you are very good at doing it without having to think about it. What is that one thing? And you know that with or without interest or whatever profit, you find pleasure doing that thing. You're delighted doing that thing. What is that one thing? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Build on that one thing, regardless of the other ones. I'm not saying you shouldn't do other things, but let your energy be channeled to that very one thing, you know, because, you know, in that one thing is going to get at other things. You know, the world is actually evolving and very fast. Different things, you know. This fashion we are learning, there are different aspects in fashion. You cannot know it all. So what is that area in fashion that you want to specialize in?
Yeah.
You find out that as the year goes by, that different improvement in that same field or that particular area you're focusing in. So you keep growing in that particular thing you're doing. So you're just increasing knowledge, expanding. Did you understand what you're doing and getting better in what you're doing? Than learning 10 things and you're not a professional in anything. You don't master, you don't have a craft of any of these things. So why don't you rather stick to one and become a professional in it, become a voice in it? Do you understand? Become an authority in that thing that you're doing. That's for me personally.
You know, let me also add this, right? You know, when you see people who do close to 5 things, the person is a seasoned caterer online, and then they're also doing maybe funny videos, they are doing all kinds of things in addition. You should check out those people. Many of them have already created a niche around their major focus. They're already a name in what they're doing, and then maybe they can just do other things just for the fun of it, just to get the attention of the audience. But you are upcoming and we don't know what you're doing. You are doing 5 different things. Maybe probably this is the one that you feel will give you money. Then maybe you do that one for some time, you don't really enjoy it again. Then you drop into something, you're going to lose your identity. So one thing you want to be intentional about is, what do I want to do? what do I love to do? What am I passionate about? And how can I be the best at that thing? Or at least how can I grow? How can I upscale it? And how can I maximize social media to help me push that thing? Then as you keep rising in that thing, you can then at some points add all the other things that you love doing. Don't choke the main thing with so many other things that nobody can define exactly what you stand for. So now in all of this set, you'll be thinking, how does this fit into the recap of the year? It's to try to help you understand that focus is key, right? If you start your year even without a resolution or anything, if your mind is to a matter, if your mind is set on a thing, it helps you stay on track. It helps you know that then you begin to think, is it a course I will go for? Is it a person I will meet? Is it money I will raise? You now begin to, you just like your thoughts are now gathered together to fulfill that thing. But when you don't have any agenda at all, it doesn't have to be any resolution. When you don't have any agenda or anything that is major for you or that God is asking you to do, what you realize is that you're easily distracted. Anything can come and take your attention. Anything can come and take you out of the way. So focus is key, right?
Yeah, focus is key.
So you don't want to be that person who is everywhere but nowhere. You in this day and time, one thing you want to be sure about is, what are you standing for? What do you want to push out there? What do you want to do? And then there are so many tools. Like she said, if it's, I don't want to use fashion design again, but let's say you want to be a content creator, you now begin to think of, what are the ideas that I can put out there that are interesting, that can make people laugh as well, because laughter is key in this day and time. There's so many things happening. People want to be able to watch you and have some form of humor, that can make people laugh, and then that can also pass a message across. We don't want to lose our those days where there was always a message in every story told. I know these days sometimes can just be laughter, you don't even know what you got from it, but you can be that person who decides to stand by passing out a message. So for me, this year I've learned so many things. Like she said she learned one thing, and then she made sure she focused on that. There was also something she said that I wanted to ask a question on. You talked about how that you met people while learning that thing. So how did meeting people help you, or what was the role of that interaction in the meeting of people in that thing that you were learning?
Okay, when I met these people, we met in a fashion school, and I found out that most of them were just new into fashion. And since I already had
you said you taught, you were teaching, and then you were also
since I already had an idea in fashion, so this was just an upgrade for me. As I said, fashion is revolving and all that, so there's a lot to learn. So I just had to upgrade a particular skill. So I met these people that basically we're just new to the fashion industry and fashion school and all that. So what I already knew and what I was already doing, so it was easy for me. For instance, I'm going to be in pattern drafting. So it's something I know already. So once I see them draft, I'm able to put them through, like, this is not how to navigate this. And there's, everybody have a way of achieving. For instance, you want to sew a blouse. There's different ways in achieving that same blouse that everybody's trying to achieve. But there are also easier ways. So the method I use and the method she uses may be different. But I can come to and have an easier way, but we're still going to arrive at the same thing. So the point is your willingness to learn. So you should be open to learn, because knowledge is very important, and there must be a willingness to learn these things. So meeting these people to also help me, because I was new in the city. I had to meeting that was like making new friends, and it also helped in building relationships. And
did it also help your learning process as well?
Of course it did, because
more fun.
Yes, because when you're teaching people, you're remembering the things. You can't forget it, you can't lose it. But when you keep it to yourself, do you understand? So you easily forget.
Yeah, true.
But when you're impacting this knowledge, you get to remember. And don't get me wrong, these people that I was teaching to, they have to stop up there. So when I'm teaching them, I'm like, okay, do you think if we can go like this? They're sharing ideas, they're sharing knowledge. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it made it faster and very easy, and it was also fun, because, when we learn, we make mistakes and we laugh over it, and you find out that from the mistake, you created styles out of it. That's the fun in fashion. Do you understand?
Yeah.
From mistakes, you create another design. So there's actually no mistake when it comes to fashion. Fashion is fashion.
Good. So networking is key. It can be upward, it can be downward, it can be sideways. Don't be that person who would only network with people when they feel like there's something they will get. Think, what can I give? Because from giving, you know that thing more. From giving, then you begin to get. And from giving, you become a master of what you do, right? So this is very important. Like I said, it's not a fashion designing class. We're talking about how the things that we have learned or how the year has gone and how we're able to streamline. For me, I didn't streamline. I learned so many things, but I was aiming at knowing one thing. But then I realized that if I went for only that thing, I wouldn't know it as easily because of how broad it was. So I had to begin to pick up the little parts of it. Then I began to learn the little parts of it. I learned a little bit here. I learned a little bit of one aspect, another aspect. And so when I knew different aspects of it, it has brought me to a point where I'm able to now choose how to go in the direction of the particular thing my attention is on, right? So it's possible for you to be on different paths. But ensure that even as you're on different paths, those paths lead to your major goal. Let there be a major goal. Let there be something Let there be a point of focus that you are, going forward for, and so that you're not just everywhere. You're not just confused. You know that you're learning A, you're learning B, you're learning C because you're heading towards Z. Okay. So not to make this video so long, we've said so much, and like I said, today is Boxing Day. Christmas was yesterday, so Merry Christmas, by the way.
Don't tell Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I hope you had fun.
Yes. So we are very intentional about enjoying our day. Also, you need to be intentional about enjoying your year. There's so much going on. Everybody wants to catch up so fast. Everything's moving so fast. One thing you don't want to deprive of yourself of is just the beauty of every day, the little things of every day. People, the smiles, the laughter, just generally being intentional about how you spend your time and how much enjoyment it also brings your way as you learn. It's easier to learn when you are having fun, right?
Yes.
So don't be caught up in so much learning that you now forget that life is happening. Don't miss out on the relationships in your life. Yesterday, my friend was talking to someone and she was like, if you say you miss me, then you should be able to create time for me, right? So those friends you're not creating time for, I promise you, it's depriving you of the beauty of life, right? Don't be so. You're not the only person learning stuff. You're not the only person that has goals. Everybody has goals. So make sure that you're not missing out on
achieving these goals. Is not around people too.
Good.
You can never be an island. So whatever goal you're trying to achieve, people are involved.
Exactly. So that's it. So don't miss out on the good people in your life. Create time for them. If you say they are important, you have to create time for them. Sorry for that sound. It just brought lights. Nigeria just. But yeah, so if you're watching us from outside the country, it's not usually when you bring lights, there's this sound that comes on. But then again, like I was saying, like we're wrapping up because you don't want this to be too long. Ensure that you start your year with an intention. It doesn't have to be what they call that thing.
Long
goals. No, it doesn't have to be all of that. Just be intentional. The intention is growth, right? You want to grow. So just have something in mind you want to achieve. Look for the ways to go about it. Have it at the back of your mind, regardless of what you are doing. There are days and weeks and months that will pass without you even doing that thing. But if it's at the back of your mind, you'll come back to it. So you know that you are on a path, you're on a walk, right? So it keeps your head on a goal. It keeps your mind set in a way. And then as the Lord helps you, make sure you also have it in your prayers, and as the Lord helps you, begin to realize that you meet people, you meet situations, you meet different things that help you. So I don't know if you want to say one more thing to just just put this all together to help people realize that. Yeah.
What I have to say is, in attaining all of these goals, build good and healthy relationship.
Very important. Okay, good and healthy relationships. Don't play. Make sure you have good and healthy relationships. All right, so thank you, and stay with us. Okay, make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like, tell a friend, share. We have content for you that would help your mind, will help you grow, and will help you see things in a whole new perspective. So thank you for sticking with us on the long. And if you stayed also to this point, we celebrate you. All right, so have a good Boxing Day, enjoy the holidays, and see you some other time. Bye.
Thank you.